Hello, good people of the internet. Today we're playing Anonymous Hacker Simulator, which, as the name suggests, is a simulation game where you play as a hacker for the group known as Anonymous. This is the 1.02 release, which means that it is not an early access, but key has been kind of provided. I had a look at the Steam page and can't see plans for any expansions or polish or whatever, so I guess this is what you get. And in my opinion, the game maybe does need some polish. Anyway, this is the game. You can walk around. You'll actually be doing very little in this kind of walking around world because most of it is a hacking game you're going to be spending on your computer. And the way it works, this is the second... I've just made it through the story to the second apartment, and the first one's quite dingy. Anyway, it's mostly story. I don't think... Well, obviously I haven't completed it, but... I don't think the game opens up into some kind of open world, so you're kind of mostly just working through missions, and you get those missions through this underground web here, and you get these gigs. In fact, I haven't seen them open up at the same time to have side gigs and main gigs, and in fact, if I don't do this supposedly side gig, I don't think the game will progress. So, I mean, maybe if I go to sleep, maybe that might progress the game. I don't know. We could try that. But no, we're just going to show you the game. When you click on the mission, you'll see it provides some kind of helpful objectives, which are then just kind of a... I don't know if it's all... This is what happens if you just have But, well, let me go back a step. There is an option in here to be a novice hacker or to be a master hacker. And, I mean, it still shows you hidden objectives, but maybe it provides more hints if you're on the novice hacker difficulty. So maybe when you'll see that it may just look a bit like you're following instructions, which is good if you don't know how to play the game. So once you open up the gig and you do that, then it's starting to do various things. Search the internet for information about Jessica Davis. So, I mean, I haven't actually done this mission, so this could go very badly. I imagine... Actually, it used to say more information like use Harvester. So maybe if we use Harvester... and how do I know how to use Harvester? Because the previous missions told me so. You get more like hacking tools throughout the game. There is this Hackify thing which you can use to purchase, although these are relatively cheap, I suppose, for actual malware or whatever it is. Anyway, Harvester is a tool for reconnaissance and information gathering. Supposedly from some... I mean, I'm not a hacker, so I don't know. From some reviews, people say that this is relatively realistic, but I would probably say it's not that realistic. I mean, relatively in like a, let's say, simplified, dumbed down approach. Like you will be using tools and running them from the command line. I mean, it's relatively realistic, I suppose. But the game is not that realistic, I would say. Well, on the whole, it's, presents itself in such a way. Anyway, so what are we looking for? Information about... You can actually copy things, which is very useful, although it doesn't let you do a double click and drag, which can be annoying. Control-C, Control-V, excellent. So this thing, you have to use underscores, so let's see if we can find something about Jessica Davis. And it goes and search for Microsoft LinkedIn Gujarat Bling, which, it just messes up names. It's hilarious. Anyway, so it found a Twitter account. And if you have seen the thumbnail for this video, if I'm going to go with this one thumbnail, I would think that the game may get in trouble for the likeness that it uses for some of its fake characters, because Elan Musk, not Elon Musk, is the CEO of the Telsa. Is it Telsa? Anyway, this is very Elon Musk. There is a mission, and I'm not going to show it here in this video, so you'll have to go somewhere else to find it, where you can go find sex pictures of Elon Musk and send them to him, or you can send them to the press and leak them to the press, if that's what you want to do. Anyway, I would say they're not going to... The game may get in trouble for having likenesses too similar to people. If you don't know who these people are, then I don't know what rock you're living under. Anyway, it tells us, having done that search, that there is a Twitter account registered under the name of Jessica Davis. So we can just go search this person on Twitter. And we could have started with this, maybe. That would have been more sensible. So here is Twitter, which is, again, very similar to Twitter. I suppose it's called X now, so who cares? This is Jessica Davis. And then it gives us the next one. And it says, hey, search for more information about other associated individuals. And it tells us this time use host command. So we look on the page and see who may be related. And we can see there's a name here, Max Austin. So we can copy that name. And no other names. So it's relatively easy. So we're just going to run harvester. It has tab completion for some things, but not all of them. And again, that name needs to be with underscores. The game does have music, and it is quite good music, so I don't know if it's licensed in any way, so I have turned it off. But it's, I would say, one of the better things about the game, and it's almost a shame that I have to turn it off for a video. Anyway, we have done this internet search of all these things, and it finds no IPs, no emails, but it has found extra information. Doesn't explain where that extra information has come from, but this looks like a conversation between Max. Anyone heard of Jessica Davis? She hasn't been picking up any of my calls. Last I heard, she touched down in Prague. Oh yeah, I should say, before we start this mission, it told us there was the kind of typical anonymous voice who had called us in some way and told us to do something. There's a report that has raised concern to the disappearance of this person, Jessica Davis. That's why we're now delving into cyberspace to uncover more, because we're, you know, being good and trying to help or something. I don't know. So now we're trying to look into it and see if we can help. Anyone heard from Jessica Davis? She hasn't picked up any calls. Patrick Bateman, yeah, heard up too. But it's been crickets. Paul Allen. Liz Street got wiped, but she mentioned some dude named Jacob Novak. Okay. So presumably we have to go look up this guy. No idea who he is. Maybe we should think about calling the cops. What's the deal? Anyway, so now we want to do the same thing, but we're going to search for this guy. Not all missions revolve around searching on Harvester as much as this. Normally it uses all the other things as well. Anyway, so we did the search. It found an IP address and extra information. Jacob has apparently gone to the red district. 2 days to complete the transaction. Any delay will result in punishment. The girl's made it to Prague. She's going to be drugged and sent over to your warehouse. So some kind of human trafficking. Excellent. Not great. So yeah, I mean, I didn't actually need this instruction because there's only one way forward as far as I can tell in this game. It's not providing you with hundreds and hundreds of bits of information. And when you kind of play through the game, you kind of learn, okay, well, I mean, also if you're a hacker, Nmap is a tool which people use in this way, will help you scan ports of a IP address to see what is there and what is open. It would not normally return you with one port, presumably. Anyway, so when you do this, Nmap, in this game, it then tells you, hey, this is, well, it has to be open. If it's not open, you have to, well, if it's closed, you can't connect to it. You may have to do something else, maybe like an email social attack. Or if it's protected, you have to do something else to kind of open it up with the password or something. I don't know. Anyway, this one is open, so it just says it's vulnerable to brute force SSH. And you can buy your exploit. So in the Hackify shop, you can go to here and you can see here's SSH brute force 1.0.0. I don't understand the naming on these because I had like 1.03 purchased before, but when I had to run 1.0.1, it wouldn't work. Apparently the exploit is not backwards compatible, even though it's like a minor patch version. So yeah, something slightly strange there. Anyway, so then we want to try and make a connection. It says, you know, it says find an entry point for the system. So maybe this isn't the entry point that we're actually looking for. But yeah, we're going to try it. So it says, well, to make the connection, we're going to use brute force. This is our exploit. We have to provide it with a version. This text under here is telling us how to use the command, which I suppose is useful. We have to use 1.0.0, and the IP address is the one that we were provided with before. We hit enter. And yes, okay, so exploit's not found because I didn't actually buy it, did I? I just talked about it. Anyway, purchase. And it costs $25. We have 1,000, so that's not a huge problem. So we can run it again. Up arrow to run, well, to scroll through your commands. Anyway, it does some pretend computery stuff. And now we're connected for a minute. So this is the point where we maybe need to hurry up. And we maybe, so there's business logs, so there's recordings here.
Look, this woman has been persistently rejecting my proposals, and I've had enough of her. I'm going to ensure she pays dearly for this. I've arranged a so-called meeting in the Czech Republic with another company, but it's all a ruse. You see, I have someone named Jakub who will take care of the rest, ensuring she will vanish.
Anyway, so the game now tells us, hey, maybe you want to send this to LAPD. So we're going to download that file. We're going to download the recording log. I mean, I don't think we need it. Like, that would finish the mission. Money, transfer, we can download this. And we could delete all these things. And we could also go to that account. We'll do that in a second, actually. I did download that file, didn't I? And assets. Sure, we'll just download that as well. I think if in 67 seconds it will disconnect us, and maybe it's a bad thing, but it probably isn't a bad thing. Oh, maybe the heat will start going up, which we'll also come to in a second. So we can also check our own files, just see what we've downloaded. Did we download the one with the credit card? Money transfer, yeah. So we'll look in that. That's fine. Anyway, then we can disconnect from this guy's, whatever it is, what was it? Some guy's system. And we can finish the mission just by sending the thing. You can see our heat is up to 32%. Because I suppose we were on a computer. Even though no one knew that we were there. Anyway, the game tells us, let's send that file. We have downloaded the file, even tells us which one to send, so you can just copy it. You can Control-C. And it even tells you where to send it to. lapd.gov. And it pretends to send it. This isn't necessarily what sending looks like.
Scoundrel has a sordid history. He will most likely evade consequences. Identify his name for now. We'll deal with him later. He serves as the CEO of Pierce.
Cool. Anyway, so we've done... let's just go look at this heat thing. So again, there's a side gig, but there's no like main gigs, so there's no other gigs to do. So we have this. This is kind of a leveling up system. When you complete missions, even though there, as I say, there's only like one set of missions that I can see going through the game. You gain rank. When you gain rank, you get points, and when you get points, well, there's also, this is virtual currency, but it's, I suppose, cryptocurrencies are virtual in the sense that they're not necessarily backed by anything physical, mostly. And yeah, you get these credits which you can use to improve whatever it is about your hacker status, but it's all a bit, I don't know, ethereal. Like anonymity factor 17 represents your ability to remain anonymous and evade detection. The lower it is, the better you can conceal your identity and activities. But so if you do more stuff, it goes up, but also it goes down by your drain rate, so you can improve that as well, because it starts on like 0.1, and it's like it goes down to a certain, would drain to your to the penalty threshold, because the penalty threshold is the minimum it can be, but also I have seen it lower, and also when it goes down relatively quickly, and I don't know. This isn't the greatest leveling system, and I don't know how heat would stay high, or if it gets to max heat, what really happens, because I didn't do it in the game. Anyway, you can then close all your windows. Actually, no, we're going to do the money thing. So that's a slightly different part of the game. If you find on people's computers, you can, you know, we've seen here that something like looks like this, which maybe look like nothing to you. But in the same Hackify thing, you can go to this page called credit cards, and this is actually someone's credit card information. So that's the number, that's the CVV, the security code thing. and that's the expiry date. And then you can query and see, aha, they have $90 on their credit card, which doesn't make sense. You don't normally have money on a credit card. You normally have negative money, and you're getting credit. You don't have money in there. So maybe let's assume this is a debit card, as an example. Goes into someone's actual account. Or maybe this is the balance that you could take from them. Like, you could charge them £90, $90, whatever it is. I don't know. Anyway, you have a choice then. You can get 3 extra heat, and you can get $90, which isn't a huge amount. Or you can get $80, because this method charges 20% apparently, but it gives you less heat, and the one in the middle charges 15, but again, medium heat. So just to have the least amount of heat, I can now transfer $80 to me, and look, I'm now $80 richer. But I don't understand if this was already paid by this credit card and it's millions of pounds, dollars, whatever. Why there's 90 available? What is that? What is that talking about? Anyway, having done that, then we can probably delete this file because it's no longer any good to us. If we go look at it again, I don't think we'll find anything in there. So yeah, we'll close all these windows. If we look at our heat, because we should have got some more heat there. That's not the heat thing. This is the heat thing. It probably went down. Sorry, it probably went up by 1, and now it's come down again because there's a strain rate. It's not clear how often this drains. It just says decreases over time, slowly reduces, but I don't know. I boosted it twice, so it reduces relatively fast, maybe. I don't know. And then you go on to the next mission, which is in that same menu. And this one's a longer mission. Once you've clicked open here, you have the objectives on the right. In fact, you don't need them, you can hide them. But it's the same sort of thing where you are being all hackery and you're using these commands and you're getting more commands through the Hackify whatever shop to do more things. Let's do this one more, and you'll kind of see how the game progresses. Sometimes the game will make you leave your computer and go to the big bad outside world. But yeah, generally, even when you're there, it's like, now open up your phone, and then you're back into a screen like this. So there's not like anything hugely different. So let's do this one and see how this is different. So search Twitter. So this time it wants us to go straight to Twitter, and it wants us to search for David Wilson. So we'll do so. And hey, they're a sports enthusiast, and they're going up for that Tanda date. So not Tinder, but anyway. I don't know if this is actually a person in real life. Presumably not. Information about them. So they're into sports. They went on a date with Erica, whoever that is, and they watched the game. So now we're going to use search engines to find information about them as well. So again, we've done this a lot in this video, but I guess this is just the first step. Sometimes, hopefully this one will show us a bit more about other commands in the game. We know they're in sports. I'm guessing that we're going to send them an email because that's what the game made us do. We found an interest there. Okay, well, it's found... Yeah, here we go. So, a Twitter account, which we already knew about because it told us about it. And also there's an email address. So we probably want to... so we found that email address, we want to compose an email to them, and we want to find a suitable subject. And guess what? That suitable subject is going to be sports. And it tells us we want to get credential harvester. So let's have a sports thing. It gives you this email and says, hey, here's the sports thing. And they'll, as someone who's a sports enthusiast will want to go to the sports thing. And in that you can send a credential harvester, which will harvest their credentials and get their passwords. Anyway, so you send that, and it will come back. Here's the attack, and oh look, here is their password. Couldn't find an IP address, that's fine. And now, even though we're logged into our own email, just to avoid any confusion, let's put them slightly like this. We can now log into theirs. If we... Actually, let's make sure we're copying it from here, because it may be slightly different. No. And now we're logged into that email, and you can see this is the email that we just sent them. giveaway at spike.com. Isn't that a real website? Probably. Right. So we're into that email. So what do we want to do now? Right, so now, having looked at that other email, we can see there is an IP here. Subscription has ended. Why would an email send you an IP address? But sure, the game thinks that's. Maybe your IP address would have changed since whenever this email was sent, but sure. So we're going to nmap that IP address, see what it comes back with. Oh look, there's an open port, and it says Eternal Blue 1.0.0, which I think we have. Let's just minimize this. Eternal Blue 1.0.0. No, I have the other one. So let me show you what I was talking about before. We're going to use -x Eternal Blue version. Or maybe if I try 1.0.1, which I do have. So this is just a case of the exploit won't work with it. IP on that. Exploit not available or not found. Is it because I have a space there? No, that's not a space. Eternal Blue 1.0. I know it wants me to use 0.0. I'm just saying I own 0.1. And then if we try 0.0, it's like, no, you don't own this. Okay. Fine. Let's purchase that one. Sure, whatever. Maybe I've just typed in Eternal Blue wrong. If I now run it, it's fine. We're going to run it with 0.1 in a second. Just confirm. Anyway, well, maybe not, because we're now open to it. So now, we're in here. We have 100 seconds to make a decision. It gives us options in our objectives, though. Trick David into believing his ticket has been processed and force him to spend an hour waiting line by uploading file, blah, blah, blah. Or sabotage his date by uploading the mean tweet file. What are we, like... So now I'm like, what do I want to do? Well, we have some time to decide. What is this? Prank. By disrupting his upcoming Tanda date with Erica. So we don't want to sabotage it entirely. Mean tweet file. I mean, if it was his own tweet, that's fine. We're going to do the simple, like, making him think his ticket has been processed. Fine. Anyway, so to upload, it's a bit strange, because in half these commands, it's like, you know, you run a command, and it will have like a flag, as it calls it, to say, here's the file name, but in upload it doesn't. It's like whenever you're connected, then you choose the file. In fact, we're going to download all his files first. Is that one? That one's maybe not useful. But his Netflix account is useful, so we'll do that. So yeah, we have a choice now. We can presume it's just in files. Which one does it want us to do? Restaurant invitation update. I cannot see that on the list. Tax. In fact, let me just go look at my file browser. Where have they put that file? Uploads. Okay, they've put it in uploads. Unhelpful. I mean, it is helpful, but still. Restaurant invitation update. Sure. So once you put that in here, for some reason, rather than, you know, writing it in here, you can upload it. And we're going to return later and check out what happened.
It appears to have a questionable history involving dealings with unscrupulous companies. We need to gather more details about them.
Anyway, and then, you know, the story progresses, you use more different tools. I appreciate in the two examples I've chosen, maybe they aren't the most interesting to use, but it kind of gives you a starter look at what's happening and all this stuff. The reason why I took his account detail, Netflix account, is because we can also sell that somewhere for all of pittance, i.e. not very much, i.e. it's not really worth it. And for some reason, right, David 000. Oh wait, it'll be his email address. Which I now can't remember. I mean, yeah, Netflix is already been... Oh no, it's been renewed. That's fine. This is... You can't click it from there. But we can copy this, right. So if we go to accounts, we choose that and we say, what was it, David 000? Query account, and it goes... I don't know. Surely this was his account. Maybe it's just not set up to do that, because why would it be? Sender, sports@netflix.com. David W is the account name. Aha, it knows it's Netflix, and that logo is too similar. And so you can sell it and get $50. Great. Anyway, so you can kind of eke out this money. Did I get some extra heat? I don't know, but it's gone down now as well. Close all your windows if you want to tidy the place up a little bit. And sure, you can then go on to the next mission, which, wow, this is the first time I've seen 2 in a row. So you can now choose to do the side gig, or you can do the main gig. And the main gig will progress the story and all that stuff, and maybe it's more difficult than whatever this thing is. Over this, we did something with this university before. Anyway, this is what the game is like. It's mostly story-based. And yeah, if it looks interesting, you check it out. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like, because it does help, and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, because that would also really help. And yeah, I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.